welcome to Let Me Know How It Is, a pop culture podcast about TV, movies, comics, and all things geek. It's time once again for Definitive 5. This is Definitive 5 Part 3. I'm Zach Slater.
I'm Frank Melman.
This is Tommy Smithereens.
And I'm Clifton.
So, as in our previous 2 Definitive 5 episodes, Frank has a list of beloved characters from all over pop culture. The only commonality is each of these characters has appeared in movies, TV, comics, animation, and video games. So the idea here is that we go through and we decide which version of each of these do all of us think is the definitive take on the character that we would keep above all others. So we pick movies. That means all the other versions of that character go away in our little exercise. So did I get it right, Frank?
You got it.
Okay. Getting better at it every time.
Yeah.
All right. Start us off. Who's the first one?
All right. So the first one is Cyclops.
Cyclops.
Good old Scott Summers.
Right.
Slim.
Yeah, good old Slim.
I'm torn between comics and video games.
Yeah.
Wow, video games.
I always pick them in Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Very agile.
That's a throwback.
No
I wasn't thinking Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
You were thinking X-Men. X-Men.
Yeah. But still, however, he works in there too.
I never liked playing him in the 6-player one. I liked it when because you couldn't see the screen so well with him or Dazzler.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it when they did like the 4-player one and then you can kind of pick whoever
Right.
from there.
Mm.
You weren't dependent on the position.
Yeah.
But no, it's comics for me. Yeah.
It's comics for you?
Nobody's got animation? I'm surprised.
No, I do.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But it's X-Men Evolution animation.
That's what I was
Yeah,
waiting to hear.
about to say,
That's what I'm
yeah, I
thinking.
knew you were gonna
Oh,
say
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm a fan. Like a lot of people I know in lots of the iterations don't like Cyclops. They think he's too Boy Scout or boring or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on writers, that can be true. I think, Grant Morrison, I liked what Grant Morrison did with him in New X-Men in that run.
Mm-hmm.
But in X-Men Evolution, I just thought he was like more well-rounded, where you get to see that he is like,
A leader.
he's in the leadership position,
Mm-hmm.
but he's also like, he's not too stiff about it. Like
Right.
he kind of takes it with stride. He's cool. Like you can see why people like him and he's kind of laid back and like, he's just trying to do the best he can. I just really like that characterization to the point where there's one episode where it's all of the girl characters are trying to be a superhero team on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just trying to go out and do it on their own without anybody else helping them. And he and Nightcrawler like follow them to see what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get into a fight and Nightcrawler's about to like jump in and help them. And then the girls don't know that Scott and Nightcrawler are there. Scott like holds them back and it's like, no, like they got this. They're fine.
Right.
And then there's one time, like there's one part in this fight where they don't have something under control and Scott uses his blast to just save somebody without them knowing it. And that's all he does.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise just sits back and lets them, do what they want and be who they want to be. And I thought it was a cool scene.
Yeah.
He was there just in case, and helps out just a little, but like lets them grow and do what they want. And I thought it was a really cool little character bit.
Cool.
Yeah. I remember that episode. That's the one that everybody keeps revisiting. They made a clip out of it. It's the one that rips off of Buffy and Faith dancing, in which you have Kitty Pryde and Rogue dancing.
Yeah.
Or, they're doing the same animation.
And it also has like I think it has a Craft reference too, like a shot from the Craft where all the girls are walking through the hall at school.
Yes. Yeah. No, I love that episode. That's a great episode.
That. Yeah, it's a good one.
No.
Clifton, you changed my vote.
Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna do comics. I'm picking animation now. Yeah, because
I agree.
X-Men Evolution.
I changed mine. Yeah, animation, because I have to say that you get that with Scott now, but in comics he's always angry or a chip on the shoulder. They never really. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah,
that's all he is in Wolverine and the X-Men.
Right.
Yeah,
that's all he says. Yeah.
See, but now you made me torn because I want to get rid of those other shows as opposed to.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
What's yours, Frank?
Comics.
Okay.
I mean, I know, I've seen him in the, I obviously played, the stand-up X-Men for the 6-player game. I played that. And in other stuff too. I played other video games. So it's, the movies is a mixed bag. Sometimes I like some of the scenes with him, and sometimes I'm like, no, not so much.
There's not many.
No.
There's not many scenes to pick in general.
No,
I mean,
there's
that's
not.
the shocking thing.
But I think for me it's comics. I think the stuff that I like about Cyclops generally is in the comics. I haven't really seen enough of X-Men Evolution to be on that might change my vote someday. But as of right now, I got to go with the comics.
Got it. Okay. Tommy, you decide which one. Which one are you going with now? Is
comics,
it because you got torn at the end? You're doing comics? Okay.
Yeah, comics.
You had like a 3-way split though. Like
I did.
I love the video games, comics,
I love
animation.
the video game.
Yeah.
But no, but if I'm honest with myself, comics.
All right.
All right. Very good.
Moving on.
All right. Moving on. Next character is Lois Lane.
No, who's got me?
Yeah. Who's got you?
Yeah. I love that line. That line is comical.
Classic.
It's a great one.
I have to lose that line? Really?
Yeah. If you don't choose the movies.
Yep.
But if you choose movies, you get her in any movie.
Right.
But that means you get her in any movie.
Right. Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I'm looking at the later ones. The
Yes.
Man of Steel's and the Justice Leagues.
Well, then, I'm going to go with animation.
Who Amy Adams is great, and it's not her fault.
No,
Sorry.
it's not her fault at all.
No, it's not. It's not.
No.
Yeah.
She didn't know.
I go with animation only because that's the most we get of the character. As far as personality goes. Like, it's not different. It's the same. She's strong, yet, everything that encompasses her. And she brings in calling him his nickname Smallville, which everyone loved after that point. So
Right.
You're talking about from Superman the Animated Series?
Yeah.
Yes, Dana Delaney.
Okay. Right. She's great.
Yeah, she's terrific.
She really is.
But if you notice, that personality sticks after that point,
Oh yeah.
It becomes the definitive version of her, in my opinion.
It's a very strong take, absolutely.
So I'll go with the animation specifically Superman the Animated Series.
Gotcha.
Good show.
Yeah, very good show.
I hate to do 2 in a row, but yeah, I'm doing animation also. She's fantastic. She's so great in Superman the Animated Series. She's wonderful. Yeah, I would. I like the movies. The original Christopher Reeve one. I think she's great in there. I even like her in Smallville.
You mean
really
Margot Kidder?
But
Margot Kidder is
Margot Kidder. Yep.
Yeah.
And Erica Durant in Smallville, I think was actually very, very, very good as Lois. But yeah, it's the animation.
Yeah. Clifton, what about you?
I was just trying to think through some of them. I'm like, we got definitely good stuff in the comics. Like once you get past the Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, which has its own charm, but
right,
yeah,
like when she's ready to dump Clark when some rich alien comes along on every cover.
Yep.
But the TV too. I mean, you had Erica Durance on Smallville. I thought it was really fun when the show decided to play with that. And current Superman and Lois, I do like her.
Elizabeth Bitsy.
Yeah, Bitsy. What's her last name?
Tulloch?
Yeah,
Tulloch?
Bitsy Tulloch. That's correct. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, like I like what she does. I like her a lot on it too. But again, it's probably just got to be animation. Just because that was so strong, and really put more of a focus on Lois than a lot of stuff had in the comics, at least up till that point, and really defined her as what she is. Yeah, there's the versions we've gotten after her are heavily informed by that, and it was nice to see the connection with her and Clark of real staunch competitors in both good at their craft and both taking it super seriously. I liked that, and she was just always better for it.
Yeah. And capable too. I mean, they did the damsel in distress stuff too, but not always.
Right.
She was just as capable of getting herself out of stuff too, which I thought was really, really cool.
Well, I also like the how they. I'm sure it's not a popular thought, but I like how they make her actually want to be with Bruce Wayne. And then,
Right.
and then it's like it doesn't work. It's just like they make it fall apart without her being a jerk about it, or it just feels it's like they do it, it's done, it's over. And that's all they mess with. I just like that. I love that take of her being introduced to Bruce Wayne and her being like any single woman faced with a billionaire who it's just animated.
I mean, it's tough because there has been a lot of there's Margot Kidder that we talked about, but I think we should TV. You've got Noel Neal from the very beginning, from like the George Reeves stuff, and it's Terry Hatcher,
right?
Pretty good Lois.
Yeah, sure.
I forgot about the earlier ones.
She was a good one too. Yeah.
But no, Erica Durance is great. But a lot of that I think is what Tommy said. I think a lot of it comes from the animated series because it's all about she calls him Smallville throughout that time. But and I like Bitsy Tulloch too. But the comics, like you were saying, Clifton, it comes down to a lot of it is just she's either it's very gimmick of trying to figure out who Superman is or get Superman to marry her for a long time,
right?
So that's kind of I'm gonna have to go animation too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my choice as well.
Is that our sweep? Is that a sweep?
Yeah, that's a sweep. That's our first sweep. And the second one is I'm going to go with the animation just because I think just Dan Delaney is so good as Lois is one thing. And then I just think she gets better stuff to do in that series.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes, she's an intrepid reporter and she gets in over her head, but it's not always, in a what's it, A Piece of Home? Is that the episode?
Oh, A Little Piece of Home, the Kryptonite episode.
Yeah, isn't she the one that saves the day by tossing the kryptonite into the? So they give her moments too. So it's one of those I think it's it shows her resourcefulness and shows how she's quite capable, even though Superman occasionally has to save her from giant robot dinosaurs and stuff.
Or ape.
Right. So I'm going with animation as well.
Woohoo!
Yes,
clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
Nice.
Ooh, and I love when she was in Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
It was hilarious. Yeah, hilarious.
All right. So next one is, speaking of giant lizards, Godzilla.
Ha.
Yeah.
That's easy for me.
You forget that he has been everywhere. Like he had the cartoon, he had a comic that Marvel published in the 80s, right?
Yeah. A little earlier than that,
70s, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Dark Horse's version of him.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Where he takes on Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Did he really?
That's my favorite version. No.
Yeah, there is.
I remember those commercials.
I do too. Yeah.
As well as again, early 70s animated with Godzuki.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they did a 90s animated too, off of the 1998 Godzilla, the one where he looked strange, I'll say.
Yes.
The Matthew Broderick one.
Right. And there's a more recent Godzilla than that on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Animated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So he's got lots of animation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's all over the place. For me, I will settle on the original version of him, which is the movie version.
The movie? Okay.
Yes, because that movie against King Kong was as everything I expected to be. I wasn't in it for the plot. All I was in it for was when he's going to fight the monkey again, or when he's going to fight the gorilla.
Right.
That's all I cared.
Of course.
How they got there, I didn't care. Yes.
I'm not sure they cared either, but
No, they did not. No, they did not.
As long as they got there is what's important.
That's all that mattered. That's all that mattered.
I could go for not having a human element at all.
Right.
In most of those, and just get to them.
Yes.
All I need is a setup of like, oh, this is the POV person, and then we'll just see what happens.
I agree.
I don't need a complicated story at all.
It's like humans in Transformers. Like,
yes.
I don't need this.
Just in the way.
Yeah.
There's something arresting about the original, like guy in the suit, Godzilla stuff. And I remember I was at my folks' house and they were playing some marathon on like Comet TV or something. And I had it on and my son, who's 2, was like enthralled by it. Like, You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, like this works at any age. I figure that he would have been too young to really care, to not know, just to like, it wouldn't work on him. Just like, I don't know that what I'm looking at is odd.
Right.
But no, he couldn't take his eyes off it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm doing movies too.
He doesn't think it's like Big Bird destroying a city or something.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because he probably does watch a lot of people in suits and big suits on TV at that age. No, I'm going with the movie as well, just because, it's the classic. You can't beat the destroying the little towns, the model cities. And
Right.
I go with that. I grew up watching all of those. I was obsessed with all of the old original Godzilla films when I was, elementary school to middle school, especially, and stuck with them, of course, ever since. But that's when I first got into all of them and would watch them on like weird UHF channels in the middle of the night or late at night whenever I was up. But yeah, no, I definitely go with the movie version too.
Yeah, they would show them. I remember, again, it was one of the things where the super stations like TBS would show marathons of those.
Yeah.
You get to see them, like you said, tearing up the small miniature cities with like, the caps and smoke going off,
Yeah.
And the sparks out of nowhere from buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm partial to, like I said, like the animated series, the old 70s one with Godzuki, which was, basically Godzilla fought other kaiju-ish type stuff. Comics, not a big deal. I don't think I've ever played, other than like something like Rampage, I don't think I've ever played Godzilla in an actual video game.
I love Rampage though.
Rampage is great.
Yeah.
I know it's Lizzie in the game, but at the same time, it's like it's Godzilla. Let's be honest.
No, those video games like on Super Nintendo or Nintendo were not the greatest things that you
yeah. But what was I gonna say? So I'm gonna go with the movies. I have to go with the movies because I think that's, again, just watching that, all the action, watching, the what's the 3-headed one?
King Ghidorah.
Yes, on the wires. Coming in, I have vivid memories of those. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the movie. That's where I want my Godzilla. Is in the movies.
Another sweep.
Wow.
Whoa.
2 in a row.
All right, next one. Kermit the Frog.
Oh wow.
Oh, I feel a split on this one coming.
Yeah,
I know which way somebody's going.
Because we lose the love, the rainbow connection if we go a certain way, man. just a little reminder, because I know where someone's going. Yeah. There's one version of him that doesn't sing it.
And if we don't go animation, we don't get no Muppet Babies.
Right.
Yes.
Yep. Very true. Well, we hardly have Muppet Babies now because of the rights issues. Like you can't watch it. Can't watch it anywhere.
Yeah. So it's already gone.
Yeah.
But I'm torn because I grew up on a Muppet Show, and then the movies are great. The Great Muppet Caper. You kidding me?
Right.
Seeing that transition to a full-length feature in the movies was awesome. Wait up, he doesn't sing the Rainbow Connection in the Muppet Show, does he?
No.
It was original to the movie. I don't know if they ever like revisited it on a subsequent series or anything. I don't remember.
Oh,
that's definitely from the movie. So yeah, that's a breakdown. Or like we divide film and TV, right? So
yes.
So you either get the Muppet Movie, Great Muppet Caper, Muppet Take Manhattan,
Muppet Treasure
Island, Muppet Christmas Carol, or you have to trade that off for
Muppets
the Muppet
in
Show.
Space too.
Yeah, Muppets in Space, yeah. Or trade that off for the show and Muppets Tonight and the Muppets from ABC, which was a few years ago, and I loved that show. I thought that show was so funny, but I just didn't find an audience, but I thought it was hilarious. It's on Disney Plus now too, if anybody missed the Muppet Show from a few years ago. They currently have a new Muppet Show on Disney Plus from last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm torn.
It's hard. It splits the vote.
Swedish Chef singing Rapper's Delight on that Muppets episode from a few years ago is hilarious. I urge everyone to look up that scene.
But you'll never, think about it this way. If you don't get the movies, you don't get Kermit riding the bicycle.
Right.
No, you don't.
You don't get I'd Like to Go Back There Someday by Gonzo. You don't get Moving Right Along.
Right.
No, you do not.
You don't get Charles Grodin hitting on Miss Piggy.
Right.
Oh.
Yes.
I love the movies. Oh,
Good. It's a good one.
it is an extremely good one because you don't know how much they're split till now you think about it.
Right.
And- can we come back to this at the
I'm
end?
doing video games.
Are you?
no. I'm doing TV.
The funny thing is, Zach, that I was like, there's got to be, and there's way more Muppet video games than you would think.
Oh yeah. No, I could.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like all ages stuff. I can picture like there being a ton of stuff out there for them.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was, but yeah, there's a ton of. I was like, maybe there's got to be.
I'm picturing
maybe
stuff on like Game Boy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
probably.
Yeah, so I thought it might be maybe like a couple. No, there's a lot. So,
Right.
so if someone has a real love,
But no, I'm doing TV.
TV,
I'm doing TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not doing animation.
I'm not doing animation.
Yeah.
You're giving up Muppet Babies.
I'm giving up Muppet Babies because, like I said, like I feel like it's kind of already given up. Like it's not, it's not out there really.
Yeah.
Muppet Show I did enjoy as a kid, but like I loved Muppets Tonight. I loved Muppets Tonight, that one, and I also really liked the most recent one too that was on television. Also, yeah. So I'm taking TV.
Okay.
I'm
going movies.
Yeah,
I'm going movies. Like I've liked all them. I've liked almost all the Muppet stuff. I haven't played any of the video games, but I did look up just now. I typed Muppet video game just to see, and that list keeps scrolling off the page on Google search. So there have been a lot. But yeah, I'm going with movies. I mean, like some of my early memories of going to movie theaters are to watch various Muppet movies over the years.
Yes.
Just like Muppet Christmas Carol is one of my all-time favorite versions of Christmas Carol, and I love any version of Christmas Carol. So that's saying a lot. So I'm going with the movies on that one.
Okay, very good. Tommy?
After careful deliberation and a lot of soul searching, movies. I gotta go with movies. The movies are so classic. The heart of what makes it special is always shown in the movies. Always. Yeah, it just exemplifies how great of a character and how iconic. Let's take away all the other Muppets and just focus on Kermit. The best examples of Kermit have always been in the movies. Always, in my opinion, at least. Like if I break down the shows, I like the ensemble cast. So Waldorf and Sandler.
Waldorf and Sadler, yeah.
Sadler, that I love. Love Gonzo, Miss Piggy, the whole, the list goes on and on. But yeah, movies. Movies.
Yeah, I mean, Kermit does get more story in movies than on shows usually.
Yeah, very true.
I'm going with movies as well.
Okay.
It's one of those, again, I have vivid memories of going to the theater to see the Muppet movie. I recently watched it with my daughter, who's now 4, and it's, it holds up. Like it doesn't disappoint. Like it's still very funny. It's still very, very, the moments that you're supposed to be like, especially for a kid, definitely it's like the moments that things are like when they're in peril and stuff. The plot is still great. Overall, it got a lot of great cameos in it. But yeah, no, I love it. The movies are great. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Muppet Babies. I've watched the Disney one, which is fun. And I watched the original, but nah, I'd have to go with the movies. The movies are definitely where it's at for me.
All right. 3-1.
All right.
No sweep on this one. Almost.
All right, next one. Venom.
All right.
Interesting.
You can rule out movies. That's pretty easy for me.
So you say.
You say that now.
So he's had now 3 movie appearances. Is that correct?
3?
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, right.
Venom and then Let There Be Carnage.
You're right.
Yeah.
So 2 different movie versions, but 3 appearances total.
Hot on the trail of Wolverine. Yes, he is.
Animation appearances in 90s Spider-Man.
Yep.
Spectacular.
Not as much as you would think, though, in 90s Spider-Man. He's only in 3 episodes.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is less than I would have thought.
Yeah, in the animated series, and then once they did Spider-Man Unlimited, I think he's in it a little bit more, but I don't think I've seen every episode of that yet.
Yeah, so what's your definitive take on Venom?
This one's harder than I thought.
Don't forget, he wants to eat your brain.
I know. Trust me. Oh, I never forget that. That was my first interaction with that character. Is the talking Toy Biz Venom, or like, die, Spider-Man! I want to eat your brain. I was like, why does he want to eat his brain? That's awful.
Right.
I know he's the bad guy. That's pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, toys are not one of our categories, so that toy cannot be the definitive version according to our rules.
You know what? I'll go with I'll make this choice, and I'm gonna go with the off-brand choice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Video games. I want to see what Sony does with him on the new video game when we get him, because we are getting him. Let's just be honest.
Oh, in the Insomnia games, Spider-Man games.
Yeah, I think they're gonna knock it out the park. Video games.
Very good.
My first choice would have been comics, just because there's stuff that I haven't tripped on, but it'll wash into video games eventually.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of crap in comics, though.
It's a tremendous lot of crap.
That's the thing deterring me.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're gonna think that I'm aping you, Tommy. Honestly, I was pointing towards video games too.
It's the best version of the character.
Maximum Carnage.
Because of Maximum Carnage. Maximum Carnage, like that's like one of the most excited moments of my life was when I found out that he was a playable character.
Yeah. I'll go with comics though. I'll go with the good old comics. Okay. All the good and all the bad of them. That's what I'll go with. Just because I missed out on Maximum Carnage. I didn't have, what was that, Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
I knew of the game. I knew lots of people play in the game, but I never did play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's yours, Frank?
I'm thinking,
torn between movies and I'm trying to think. I was gonna think of the worst versions of it. Movies and what's the other worst version of it?
The other movies.
Yes. No, but according to you, Zach, it'll be futures and future movies. That's what.
Yes. I'm gonna go with comics as well.
Okay.
Because at one point I thought I really did like the character. I just think he became oversaturated, and then, they took it away from the idea of Eddie Brock being, a guy with a genuine beef with Spider-Man to being like, now it's
planet.
A whole planet of symbiotes, and he's been to space. He's been, he's been no, not he hasn't been to space, but the Venom has been back in space, and then, So I don't know. That's where I like Clifton said, I'll take the good and the bad of all the various Venom. Yeah. I'll take it.
I'll say this. In the video games, we still have the uniqueness of the character. And I think that's what's not oversaturated, because in each video game, we just get the individual, regardless of how he came to be. We get him as Eddie Brock, hating Spider-Man, regardless of everything else. Like in the comics, we get Planet Venom, God Venom, Venom's kids, alternate Venom, whatever Venom that you can throw on anything, it's there.
Right.
And in the movie, you get it subverted. Like, he's never met Spidey, but he hates Spidey, or worse. He's just, what's Topher Grace's version? I don't even know what to call Topher Grace's version of the character. But ultimately, it's like isolated to that one thing that made him super popular.
Yeah.
It's always represented in video games, and I enjoy it for that. Now, mind you, the future of it is in comics, and those always remain to be, or at least how far I take it. But you're talking about the absolute best of the character that I've seen in video games, easily. You get the villain and him as the hero in some instances.
Right. Yeah, and truth also, I think he is well done in the animation we've gotten in the 90s.
Yes.
One, and in Spectacular. He's really good in Spectacular too. I can't speak to the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon and the later stuff, but he's good in those. And yeah, it's just, we don't get to see him become a hero at any point just because, they didn't go on long enough, basically. But yeah, I'm with you. I picked video games kind of captures how, like, the fun of the character.
Yes.
I think. So, next.
Next is Hawkman.
All right. So our Hawkman, obviously comics first.
Yeah.
Then Super Friends for animation premiere, although we've also gotten him in not as much as Hawk Girl, obviously, in the Bruce Timm DC AU.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is
we
a
got
very
her
good
much
point.
more, but we got him some.
Yeah.
And then TV, season 1 of Legends.
Right.
And an appearance in Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
And we have something coming in movies. We just haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
movies coming. We got movies coming.
Right. And don't forget he was also in the superhero roast.
Oh, the TV special from what was it, like late 80s or mid 80s or something?
Something like that, yeah. Yep, he's there in that too.
For me, this is the easiest one. This is the easiest one just because he hasn't been developed as much as I'd like to see him being developed. And it's only one area that he's been fleshed out in so many different things. I still think the best depiction of the character is in the JSA. Everything else we've seen snippets or teasings, so to speak.
So Justice Society America comics.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This one has me torn also.
Okay.
I can't wait to see him in Black Adam. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
But he has 2 appearances in Justice League Unlimited, and one of them is like one of my favorite episodes ever. Right? Which is the one in ancient Egypt.
Right.
The love triangle.
Right? I love that episode. God, I love that episode. But Hawkworld is my favorite comic book that I never talk about.
Okay.
Really?
Like, I love Hawkworld. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, man. It's so good. It's so freaking good.
Yep.
I've never heard you say that.
I know, right? Right? Like, yeah, I don't bring it up often.
Yeah.
Not because I'm ashamed of it or anything. It just doesn't come up, really. Like Hawkman doesn't come up in conversation much.
No, he does not.
But yeah, I guess no surprise. I would be so heartbroken to lose that episode of Justice League. So I'm for that reason, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping animation.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, well, hang on. His episode of The Batman in season 5 also very good.
Okay.
Very
I've
fun.
not seen that one.
No, it's good.
There's kind of a Poseidon adventure aspect with a building that gets that's floating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
It deals with nth metal.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I forgot about that.
I'm going to go full nostalgia and just go Super Friends version for animation.
2 for
And
animation.
then I'll get the other animation versions too, but I'm just going in on the Super Friends.
Very good. I am with Tommy. I'm going with the comics. Did that JSA stuff by Jeff Johns
It's so good.
and the Rags Morales stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about, what's it called? But yeah, when it's like basically like he takes over not Bialia. No, it's
No.
Kurik.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
they help. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such good stuff. Such
It
really
is.
good, cool Hawkman stuff. So that's what I would go with.
He may be the most important creator on the character, I think, since the actual creators.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking because he wrote the episode I'm talking about. Also,
Yeah.
Jeff Johns. Like, I think as far as neatening up a character with a very convoluted story and messy with different versions and stuff.
Mhm.
I think he did a
Right.
very nice job of sort of running a comb through all of that.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly one of his I don't know what you would call them, but all the you can see creators who have their favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely that for Jeff Johns. And I think all of the TV appearances that we've gotten of him, the Smallville appearance on TV, the Legends of Tomorrow appearances are heavily due to Jeff Johns, I believe. I mean, they definitely base it on his versions of them. And I'm sure he was the one kind of, urging them to use them. So yeah, he's done a lot for the character.
Mm.
So what was the breakdown on that one?
2 animation, 2 comics,
Okay.
I think.
Very good.
Even though Zach would lose Hawkworld.
Yeah.
Right.
I would.
Yes. Tim Truman will not forgive you.
I know. No, he won't. Pick it up though if you can find it. Man, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention his video game appearances, but I was trying to remind myself what he had been in. Besides various Lego DC things, Also, Injustice: Gods Among Us, which I know has a devout following.
All right, next one. Mario.
It's me.
It's me.
It's me, Mario.
Again, not movies.
Who's going with Bob Hoskins?
Yeah,
Right.
not movies.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I dare you.
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
At the moment, not movies. We'll see what happens when Chris Pratt voices him.
Mhm.
Right.
Bring magic to the character.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I'm waiting for him to mess it up by trying to give him an accent. I'm waiting for it.
I guess TV is Captain Lou Albano.
Yeah.
Or was that
yes,
animation?
yes,
But
that's
was that
one- yeah.
animation? Because those were cartoons that Lou Albano introduced. So how do we split that up?
Right. Yeah. How does
that's
that work?
animation. No, it's
You
I'll
gotta
say
go by
animation
segment, maybe.
because he hosted it. Yeah, he just
Right.
hosted the segments. Yeah,
Right. I would say that if you chose TV, you would still get that animated part, as well as if you chose the animation from that, you would still get the TV part.
Okay.
Oh,
they're
it's a loophole.
intertwined. Yes,
Right, there's your
intertwined.
loophole. Yep.
That's a loophole. Interesting.
I'm going to go with video games.
Mhm.
Just because
Yeah.
it was so, like, Mario games have been there my whole life.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and I've played almost all of them, and they're almost all great.
Right.
Mhm.
So I have to go video games. I even like Super Mario Sunshine, which
So hard a game to play. Oh my gosh.
which had some critics, but I love them all.
Okay.
I'm taking video games too.
Mm.
How could I not? I mean, there's so many, like, Super Mario World is my favorite ever from the Super Nintendo, but like all the Mario Kart games, I love
Right.
Mario Kart, Dr.
Mario Party.
Mario
Worst,
Party
yeah.
is awesome. Me and our engineer had like a summer where we would like just play that like every night with some other friends of ours. Mario Paint. There's so many
Yeah.
lost nights just working on
Right.
Mario Paint on the Super Nintendo. Yeah. Video games.
Oh, me, it's a no-brainer. It's how could you not? In fact, it almost argues that you should never take him out of video games because he just thrives in it. You know, it's anytime you take him out of video games into another media, it's always questionable.
Right.
And then there's that song. You'll never get that song out of your head once it sits
Right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear it now.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's a sweep. I'm going video games too.
All right.
I mean, how could you not?
Yeah.
Poor Bob Hoskins.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of the comics are not bad, but it's still
Yeah.
it's not capturing anything that you can't, that you wouldn't get better in a video game. So
Right.
Mm.
yeah, clean sweep.
Another sweep.
I want to see somebody try and do Mario like under the star power as a costume.
Oh, like Invincible Mario.
For Halloween, I see a lot of Mario Halloween costumes, and I'm like, it would be cool if we could see somebody like do the Star Mario.
Right. Just run through a party, knocking everyone over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, if someone
That's
Stario, if someone did Stario.
Yep.
Yeah, Stario, yes.
All right, next one, Dazzler.
Ooh.
Mm.
It's a tough one, I think, for Clifton. I think this one's going to be tough for Clifton.
Oh no, I want to see what's Clifton fighting with. I want to know.
All right. So it's good old Allison Blair
Yes.
from the X-Men,
Yes.
disco pop star / mutant,
Yes.
who has the ability to turn sound into light.
That is correct.
That is correct.
And I mean, so she has like the best 10 seconds in the most recent X-Men film.
Of course, that's why that's how she made it into
into
the movies. Yeah, she's fantastic in that scene.
It's a great scene. I feel like we brought this up when we did an episode on like good moments in so-so movies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like, I love seeing this because it was like all the X-Men out drinking red Solo cups in the woods,
Mhm.
which honestly like it works to me because I love seeing X-Men in downtime all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Right.
scene overall is good. And then we see Dazzler singing at the campfire and like, it looks awesome. She's played by Halston Sage, who's,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's very short in that scene, so you don't get to see a good look at her, but she's from the Orville, right? Is she on the Orville?
Yeah. She was on the Orville, yeah.
But and then there's Pride of the X-Men. That's for
Right.
animation.
Mhm.
Oh
Right.
man.
That's why I said it'd be difficult. I figured this one would be difficult for you.
Right. I wasn't thinking all these through because I love Pride of the X-Men.
You
and then
do.
you have the video
I know.
game based on Pride of the X-Men
Right.
that she was in, the 6-person game.
Yeah.
Which, Zach, did you say she was one of the ones on the end?
Yeah. Yeah, she's the far right.
Okay, so she was one of the hard one to play on a 6-player version where you got to like crane your neck to be able to see the screen. Oh man, this is getting harder. Harder. And like she was in X-Men, like when I really, really got into X-Men comics, it was the Outback period of X-Men. And it was after Mutant Massacre?
Yeah. Yes,
when the main X-Men team was hiding out in the Australian outback, and Havoc and her and Psylocke and Wolverine. Longshot, yeah. That's right. Her whole relationship with Longshot was right around that time. So, I mean, I have that connection to her. Man, this is getting hard. But I think I'm going to go comics. And video games, I mean, there's been tons of the X-Men, like X-Men Legends over the years. And video games in addition to Pride of the X-Men. So
you're giving up Pride of the X-Men?
I am. I'm going to give up Pride of the X-Men.
Wow.
For the comics. Just because there's so much more of the comics. That's why.
No, there absolutely is. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a whole solo series at one point.
Yeah, she had a whole solo series. She teams up with Beast. You get some cool stuff there. Sienkiewicz did like awesome Dazzler covers for her solo series. Some of those covers are so beautiful to look at.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I got to give up Pride of the X-Men, which is tough. That's a tough one. It hurts. And go with the comics.
I'm going to echo that, and I'm going to go with comics too, just because I think her best moments are in comics.
Sure.
As much fun as she is and all the other things that we've seen, it's not very much. It all in all doesn't add up to be a whole lot,
right?
As much as it is in the comics. And so I'll just go for that. I just think just out of sheer volume,
right?
I think there's more of it in comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy?
I was going to say comics. As much as what Joel brought up was great, but my introduction to her when they paired her against the Juggernaut, and as corny as that issue is one of my favorite issues where he's like, "I'm your biggest fan." I mean, it was silly, but I just love how she tried to muster it all to try and beat him, which was futile. And then in the next episode, he buries her because he doesn't realize she just goes into like a soft coma or whatever because he thinks he killed her. So she uses all the sound around her to get out of her grave, and all, which is a nice moment. But I have to agree, they don't mind her. They don't mind the essence of the fun of the character in any other medium other than comics. I mean, I love that scene in X-Men too. I have to agree, but it's just doesn't equal the greatness of what she's represented in the comics.
It's easy for me. It's comics.
Yeah.
Again, I agree with whatever. I echo what everyone else is saying. The idea that, I like Pride of the X-Men. What I've seen of it, I've never seen the whole thing. I played the video game a bunch. And again, that scene in the latest bad X-Men movie is
Dark
great.
Phoenix. Yeah,
that scene it's worth checking out just for that scene, and then you can stop watching. Just turn off your TV or turn it to something else, or just check it out on YouTube or wherever you can find that clip. But the comics are solo series. Her first appearance where the X-Men try to recruit her, all the stuff with where she changes her look from the disco era into the headbandy.
Right.
I read all that stuff about. I read all those X-Men issues with her in the Outback.
Yeah,
love all that stuff. Yeah, it's great. So highly recommend it. I would go with that. I would go with the comics. That's what I would choose as well. All right, next one. Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
All right.
And toys isn't an option?
Toys.
because I might have picked toys if that was an option.
Toys might be an option. Yeah.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. Made that ruling on the Venom toy.
Boo.
Yeah. if you don't choose animation, you don't get the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I could live with that.
Yeah.
You can at least see that segment of currently on Disney Plus, but not any of the rest of the holiday special.
It's a good segment though. It's fun.
Yeah.
and just watched it for the first time a couple months ago. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. This is hard to do because there's more coming.
Right. Yep.
Right.
There's more
I
coming.
agree.
Right? Like, yeah.
I agree. But based on, so let's like, again, if you want to roll the dice on the future book of Boba Fett, you can.
You can. You can.
By all means, go ahead. But you've already, I mean, if you've seen Mandalorian, spoiler,
Right.
You know what's coming.
you know what's coming.
Yeah.
So
this is one where I'm gonna go TV for Boba Fett.
ooh,
Really?
Yeah.
okay.
Because he does more in his one Mandalorian appearance.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Than he does in Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
He doesn't do a whole lot in those if you stop to really think about it. He looks cool the whole time.
Yes.
He looks cool
yeah.
the whole
He does.
time, but he's not doing a whole lot.
Right.
No, I agree, but this is an instance in which, for him, less will always and forever be more.
I
Once
agree
they
with Tommy.
once
Okay.
they peel back the mystique of that character,
Right.
I think a lot of people are gonna be disappointed and say that's not who I wanted it to be.
Right. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah. What he brings to Empire, it's pivotal. Even as limited as his scenes and his presence is, it's so much of the movie that makes the franchise. If they never visited him and only gave us what's in Empire and Return, I'm fine. I never question it. In my head, it can be so much grander than what I thought it was. It like everyone else when it used to be the most expensive character ever to get as a toy. You know, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you can't take a man. If it means I can't get Empire, no. Yeah, movies.
I'm with you
every
again,
time.
Tommy. I'm just being a little strategic in that way where it's like I love Mandalorian. I really, really do. And I think Book of Boba Fett's gonna be really, really good.
Right.
But I
That's gonna be good.
I don't want to live in a world without Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Jedi.
It's like, what are you
You know what I
giving
mean?
me? Yeah.
What?
Yep. I'm going animation. No. I'm
like,
what? Yeah, I'm going videos. Terrace Kasi all day, every day.
Warriors of Terrace Kazi.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. No, I am going with the movies. I agree with both Clifton and Tommy at the same time that yes, he does more in his Mandalorian appearance than he does without any of the movies. You're absolutely correct. But at the same time, give me the sizzle on Boba Fett. I want all the sizzle. I don't need the steak.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I've seen it as a kid. Boba Fett was the coolest thing ever. But I agree with you. He does nothing. He's like, it's all,
Yeah.
it's all,
Posturing.
there's no there, right?
Yeah, it's all posturing.
In the movies. But again, I agree with Tommy. I can't live in a world without the Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Yeah.
I just can't. My 12-year-old's like, no. The 12-year-old, kid memory of me is like, there's no way in the world you could do that. So yeah, I got to go with the movies. So
Yeah. And it's funny because all he does is stand there for like a majority of the movie. He stands
I
like
agree.
he's either in front of Vader or to the side of Vader,
Yeah.
but he,
Yes.
or he's sitting in his spaceship.
Or he's walking
That's
the
it.
carbonite, like with
Yeah,
the
push it,
guys
yeah.
pushing the
Push
carbonite
it,
into
that's
the
it.
slave one. Yeah.
You're talking about the easiest gig in a movie you can imagine because there's
Yes.
no facial expression whatsoever.
No.
You stand there in that half-ass suit. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
He quote unquote tracked down Han Solo by basically flying to where he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what he does.
He pretends to be trash and then follows them.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no metaphor there.
Wow. Wow. Deep
Just,
dig.
I'm
Deep
hoping
dig.
I'm hoping the Book of Boba Fett, it changes all that. But yes, right now it's kind of like, I'll take the movies.
His fans are coming after you with that comment alone. Wow. Wow.
These are
Yeah.
hot takes.
I hear you. All right, next. Bane.
Ooh.
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 Which one is your favorite?
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
I'll defend that version.
Uh-huh.
I'll defend the Dark Knight Rises version.
That's right. Only because he killed the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
Right.
That's
That is
funny.
the best part of that movie.
That's funny. That's funny.
I don't see you making it this time, Pittsburgh Steelers.
So yes,
And now we lost our listeners in Pittsburgh.
yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't condone that he did it. I'm just saying he did it. Make no mistake. I'm just saying it happens. It happens.
I got to just start chipping away versions.
Mhm.
'Cause I
Yeah.
love Bane.
Yeah, I
I
mean, you
know.
probably, like, you and Frank maybe are the most familiar with all the versions.
Yeah, I agree. Because is he even in video games?
Yeah, he's in Injustice.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Is everyone in Injustice? I
Mhm.
feel like everyone's in Injustice.
There's a lot of
Right.
people in Injustice.
Yeah.
There's
There's a lot,
In the
but there's a
second-
lot.
yeah. No, I'm saying the second one, especially when they like start doing stuff where you can swap like say the Flash for Reverse Flash or Jay
Mhm.
Garrick.
Right.
You know, you start getting to those things. Of, like,
Okay.
you know, they save on the roster by having skin changes, basically.
Right.
But yes, he's in Injustice. So. And he's been in other stuff too, I think.
What makes this also hard? There's a sneaky complication in this.
Okay.
Bane is in Over the Edge.
Oh, I know.
So if
I
you
know.
don't take animation,
Yeah,
you lose Over the Edge
edge.
as an
You lose Over the
episode.
Edge. Also, you lose
Oh,
his great.
man, that's hard.
You lose his good appearances in Young Justice too.
Which I enjoy a lot.
Yeah. Oh God, you're right.
You know,
Those
he
are
gets
great
his,
appearances too.
even
Which
though he
is
gets
Over
his
the
ass.
Edge?
Oh, that's the Barbara
Over the
Gordon
Edge
one.
is the one where Batgirl dies and Jim Gordon's going after Batman.
Okay, right. Like her
And Ezra-
yeah.
fever dream sequence.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
it's
yeah.
either a spoiler that she died or a spoiler that she didn't.
Yes.
You'll decide.
But I'm torn because of comics
Yeah.
and the fate of the character. I don't like where they take him, but at
Mhm.
the same token, in the comics is where I love where they took him.
Of course.
Like Secret Six, I think is probably the best depiction of the character.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah. And then in animation, arguably is maybe one of the worst depictions of the character. Specific, I'm looking to Batman Beyond.
Mm.
Like the fate of him, it's so sad.
Oh,
I mean, that's
really?
not
I love
bad. Yeah, I don't think that's
No,
bad.
it's not bad. I love that take.
I get it, but
Yeah.
it's just because in Secret Six, at least it shows his intelligence, not his
Right.
crutch. You know,
Yes.
Mm.
His addiction.
his addiction. Because in animation, he gets pummeled all over the place. But
Yeah.
but again, his cool scenes are there too. So that's why it's
He's in Justice League Doom too, and his mask is an awesome design, and it stops there. Like it's a horrible,
Right. Yeah, I
horrible
agree.
design for Bane
No,
in Justice League Doom.
that's difficult, huh?
Man, Danny Trejo's so good as Bane though in Young Justice.
Yeah.
He is.
Oh, by the way, also Zach, if you don't choose animation, you lose nighttime as well.
Oh God, that's right. Nighttime's also great.
Which one is nighttime?
Nighttime is the one where
yeah.
Batman's been
Yeah.
kidnapped and Robin needs Superman to pretend he's Batman.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
From the old,
Yeah.
from the animated series.
I love that one too.
Yeah,
That one's so good.
and I love Tom Hardy as Bane. I do. I feel like as much fun as the voice is to do, and it kind of
Right.
like sucks all the oxygen in the room. I do think that movie is he's scary, he's cunning, he's intelligent, he's a strategist.
Right.
Like I feel like that's kind of like the closest version to the great stuff we've gotten in the comics.
hmm
Yeah.
It's not TV because I'm not going to vote for Gotham. I'm gonna. God, this is tough. Killing my darlings because I love Over the Edge and I love Nighttime, but he's a bit player in both of those appearances. And I do like his episode of Batman the Animated Series too, also. But I'm gonna go with comics because I think Nightfall is an underrated event. It tends to be remembered just for the incident where he breaks his back. and not for the rest of the story, which I do think is actually a good story. And Secret Six is awesome. Like he's great. He's such a awesome addition to that team. So thank you all for helping me work my way through that. That was tough though.
So what you pick?
That was hard. I'm doing comics.
I think I will go with animation. Young Justice predominantly. I like Secret Six. I like what Gail Simone did with them all there. It's a really good book. Highly recommend. Overall, I just haven't read a whole lot more other Bane stuff. So it's just, I really like him in Young Justice. I really like those Batman appearances. I even like the Batman Beyond appearance that Tommy does not like. So rolling out the movie so I don't get Tom Hardy or Batman and Robin.
Oh, right.
Which I just wanted to bring up so everyone remembered it for a second. Because he was in that one as well.
Yes, he
was.
was.
2 movie versions.
Ugh.
But I'm going animation. Danny Trejo.
Who's left? Just me?
I don't think I picked.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you too.
Go ahead.
Animation.
All right.
Okay. So what's yours, Frank? I'm dying to know. I got to know.
This is a very tough one. As I mentioned, I love all those episodes we mentioned animated wise are fantastic. I love all those. You know, he's fine in video games.
Okay.
I mean,
he exists in video games.
Yeah, he's in some video games, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Movies? Well, no, not really.
No. As much as you like Tom Hardy, man.
No. Well, I'm just thinking. I was also thinking of Batman and Robin, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with comics. I think from the beginning, I thought Bane was a great character. I like the idea of an evil Doc Savage, which is basically what he was from the jump. And it goes away from that after Nightfall. No one really seems to know what to do with him. Chuck Dixon sort of does some stuff with him, but it's not until Gale does Secret Six and really gives him. You see a lot, like Tommy was saying, a lot more of his intelligence. He's not just sort of one dimensional during her run.
Yeah,
he's just great. And again, if not for Final Crisis, I think we would have gotten more of what was going to be her plan for him. So, that'll be one of those. I'll always wonder where that book would have gone. But yeah, I'm going to go with comics.
Yeah.
I think Bane is best served there.
I'll defend a little bit of the Chuck Dixon stuff too, because he did a miniseries where Ra's al Ghul was trying to bring in Bane as his heir, since Bruce Wayne and Batman, since that didn't work out.
Right.
He's like, well, Bane is the next best thing. And it's like, it is kind of like a duh moment in the books. Like, of course, like, why wouldn't you go after that guy? Like,
right.
It's a good book. I like that one.
The guy who beat Batman. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And real quick, even though I chose the comics, I always like to mention the Gotham Knight stuff that Devin Grayson did with him is really good too. Mm-hmm. That's the stuff where it's one of those things where Bane may or may not be Bane Wayne.
Oh yeah, I remember that stuff.
Those books are really good. There's a lot of really cool sort of like will Bane be part of the Bat family kind of stuff, which is. It's actually really well done. I mean, a lot of times those stories are kind of but this one actually works really well. So I would recommend that as well.
Bane Wayne.
Yep.
Yes. Bane Wayne.
Yes, he's got those round glasses like Dwayne Wayne.
Yep.
Right.
Just like a different world.
All right. So Frank, you've saved your best 2 for the end. Mm-hmm. So we will go to that. But first, if you like the show, you can check out all of our episodes on YouTube and letmeknowhowitis.com. Just please, however you find us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. And finally, if you have any topic ideas, you can send them our way in the comments or on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is our show's initials, LMKHII. All right, what do you got? Best 2.
Okay, best 2. Mm-hmm. First one is Daffy Duck.
Huh. I like to hear the argument.
I'm confused by this one.
Yeah, same here, man. Because my gut reaction is I know what I can't do without and what I think the best version of the character is. But you're telling me I'm going to be torn in movies and in TV for that.
You might be.
How so,
be.
sir? Please elaborate.
Again, Space Jam is something that's very important to some people.
It's a beloved movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not me, but sure. Sure.
And Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
Like a great, one great scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
You would lose that, and to some people in this group, might find it difficult to lose Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Right.
Yeah, you get better. Let me stop. No, I understand. I'm just teasing.
Yes. So
then we make the first cut, which is animation. I can watch that stuff over and over and over, which I have. So I just can't see it without those. Like for example, Duck Amuck.
Right.
I don't see that not happening. It's just it didn't win awards, if I'm not mistaken.
Looney Tunes was nominated for many more Oscars than they won.
Yes,
but they did win. They did win a few. I don't think that Duck Amuck was one of those.
Okay,
though. Tom and Jerry was sort of the darling back in the day. Tom and Jerry like won more than they didn't.
You mean what the Hanna-Barbera version? Yeah.
So we're talking when they were animated shorts that went out theatrically in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s even.
Okay.
A lot of those that would be nominated in the best animated short category at the Academy Awards.
Got it.
So there's a lot of Tom and Jerry, a lot of Disney, and some Looney Tunes that are Oscar winners in that respect.
Okay.
I did find a list real quick of which Looney Tunes won over the years.
Birds Anonymous.
They won 5 times. Yeah, Birds Anonymous is one.
Which is Birds Anonymous?
Sylvester tries to quit eating birds.
Okay. All right. Great.
This is like Alcoholics Anonymous, but
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, I remember
from
now.
1957. The others are Tweety Pie, 47.
Okay.
For Sentimental Reasons, which was Pepe Le Pew. 1949.
That's hilarious, but go ahead.
Speedy Gonzales, 1955.
Of course.
And Nighty Night Bugs from 1958. Those are the Oscar winning Looney Tunes shorts with a ton other nominees.
Okay.
So for this, if I'm saying the original Golden Age stuff, I'm just going animation. For that. Just for clarity. So for TV, you're talking like Looney Tunes show.
No, that's still animation.
What else? Like
that's still animation.
Lunatics.
That's still animation.
That wouldn't be TV.
No.
Nope.
Okay. So you're telling me I pick the Golden Age Daffy Duck and I get to save Lunatics Unleashed?
Yes.
Look it up, everybody.
Right.
I'm going they'll take animation.
See, I will take animation for the Duck Dodgers theme song by Tom Jones and the Flaming Lips.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
I mean, technically, you could look at it as the stuff that was shown in theaters as being animation or a movie.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas I would look as more of the stuff that's shown on television as being TV and animation adjacent. Right. So I wouldn't consider them all, like, I wouldn't say animation and then I get everything from the beginning till now. Like, I didn't look at it that way. So.
Well, it makes this particular interesting because it's an animated character. So it's a weird loophole if you want to place it that way. Like, for example, in which incarnations we have a character like Bane who can be seen live action or animated. But in this special thing, it's rare to see him not animated, if ever. I don't think he's ever not been animated.
Right.
So it's like the only thing we can see is like video games maybe.
Right. I mean, he has appeared in 2 and 3 live action films, 4 live action films that are hybrid, like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Space Jam 2, and Looney Tunes Back in Action. Yep.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not judging people on what they choose. I'm just saying this is what you would lose by not. Again, I'm just playing the game of this is what's, those are your choices for your Definitive 5. So
yeah. I'm still animation. I'm still going animation.
Same here.
Losing Roger Rabbit, which I love.
Yeah, me too. That hurts.
I know. See? See, Tommy?
Yep.
See?
My son loves Space Jam too. Like that hurts for that also.
So I'm looking at his gravesite. That's the case. I mean, for Space Jam. I don't know. I love the Looney Tunes.
All right. Well, for me, it's easy. It's animation.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's easy. It's an easy one. So, all right. Last one. Last one. Hulk.
Wow, one word, huh?
Incredible or Hogan?
Yeah, thank you.
Incredible.
That bears
Incredible.
description
Okay.
because
Yeah.
that can also work. Hulk Hogan?
Right.
Yeah.
Nah.
That would be a difficult one for various reasons. Yeah, for various
Hulk
reasons.
Hogan does. Yeah, you're right. Hulk Hogan does work for all.
For all those. Because we get one version of him, he is problematic. And the same version, he's iconic. And I can remember many a childhood playing him as a video game too.
Thunder in Paradise too. We're forgetting
Yeah.
that. I think it's just the wrestling, but it's
I
Thunder
mean, if
in
you guys want
Paradise.
to switch that one, we can take.
No. That's just a whole different conversation is all we're saying.
All right.
What we're saying is save Hulk Hogan for Definitive 5-4.
Yes.
He'll pop up again. I'll put it that way.
Right.
We'll have him show up
Oh
again.
my God, yeah. That'll be an interesting conversation.
Instead of
Okay.
just boring old Hulk here. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about the Solomon Grundy ripoff, we'll discuss that in earnest. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's difficult.
What's difficult?
Bruce Banner in his many forms, in which I
Bruce
think is
Banner?
the best version of him. Because
Yes.
you pick movies, you
Mhm.
don't get the comics,
No.
which is killing the Pantheon stuff, which I enjoyed,
right.
despite some people
Mhm.
would say.
I love the Panther stuff too.
And then you don't get you wouldn't like me because I'm angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah, you wouldn't get
Yeah,
the Bill Bixby News Freak No show, right?
Right.
Yeah, because
Or the
Yeah,
movies,
'cause-
or the TV movies.
Yeah, no Jack McGee.
yeah,
Mr. McGee. Don't make me angry.
huh. And I've picked him dozens of times in certain video games.
Yeah. Ultimate Destruction is still one of the best Hulk anything video games ever.
Yo, making the Hulk fists, making the Hulk fists
Oh,
out of the cars.
The cars, of course. You get a shout out
Yeah.
to it in the first Hulk movie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Jeez, he translates well in the media, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure where I like him the least and work it that way.
as Zach was saying earlier, chip away at the ones you don't like.
Yeah. For this, that had to come into contact. I don't like him in music. Is that an option?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
I've never liked his tie-in fast food items.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right.
Huh. Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one is hard.
Because I don't care for his current incarnation, but it's selling. People love that book.
They do. It's about to change, but they do.
What, Immortal Hulk, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yep.
it's coming to a close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people love that.
But that's one of those few characters that they know how to mine well and deep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And it's tough because he's not utilized a whole lot at the moment in MCU,
Yet.
Right.
but
Yet.
what we see is great. And
Yes.
and more coming, presumably,
Right.
Yeah.
right? Because of
Mhm.
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The indication that they're still not done with the character.
Right.
And it's weird that there's been 3 different people to play that character.
Mhm.
Huh. Jesus. I want to. Yikes. If I had to, let's say, knife to my throat.
Wow. Okay.
Forced
Sure.
decision. Because me, I just walk away and never give you an answer. That's just.
Okay.
But if made to give you an answer, I would have to go with, based upon my fondest childhood memories,
Mm-hmm.
comics. Only because the comics maps out the character in that form in which no other has yet. because I love to see in the Pantheon Hulk in video games or in animation, but we still get his original incarnation in almost everything except the Marvel's MCU, which has just recently changed his character.
Mm-hmm.
Comics is going through his 5th incarnation, if not 4th, because we've gone through Gray, which we still haven't gotten anywhere else.
Right.
We got the original mindless monster that just rips through cities, leaving them just messed up.
Right.
We have the horrific one. And we have, again, I keep bringing it up, the Pantheon one, or Dr. Banner.
Right.
Oh, and 5th, World War, which we get a glimpse of in Thor Ragnarok for the MCU version.
Right.
But not the way I would have wanted to see him rip apart Earth coming back. In the movies, MCU, we only get 2 versions of him. No, 3 versions of him. Out of those 5 that I mentioned earlier. Video games, only 1 version of him. Animation, only 1 version of him. Oh, no. We get 2.
No, there's been a few.
We get Dr. Banner and World War, if I'm not mistaken. Like the whole Hulk versus. Remember those movies?
Mm-hmm.
Where one was,
Yeah, but you got Hulk Agents of Smash too and stuff like that. And Avengers cartoons and stuff.
There's a couple 80s series.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
There's a lot. Between comics and animation, there's a lot.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, I have to say comics, unfortunately.
Okay.
Because with the heavy heart, I choose comics. That's hard.
I know, right?
It is hard. It's harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's extremely hard.
That's why he saved it for last.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Huh. Even now, I'm second guessing my decision.
I'm picking movies.
Yeah.
I can see that. No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because I don't want to disturb the MCU. And I was thinking, like, it was one of those, I'm remembering him not in a whole lot, but then I start thinking about moments. And I'm like, I don't really like the first Avengers that much. But man, my favorite moment may be Hulk trying to lift Thor's hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he struggles to pick it up.
Where I'm like, oh, man, that's awesome. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, like,
when he smashes?
The fight with Iron Man in Age of Ultron.
Yep,
it's awesome in Ragnarok.
Go to sleep. Yep.
The moment in Ragnarok where he turns back in the banner and he realizes it's been 2 years.
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah, I'm going with the MCU.
All right.
The only reason why I didn't pick MCU was I wish they did more with him with Infinity War and Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I get the intelligent part of him, but I miss the rage in Endgame, which I really wanted to see. And they make Thanos indomitable by having Hulk be in a throwaway character to show his strength and his intelligence as a fighter. I would have loved to seen a similar fight like that, what we have got with Age of Ultron, but just smarter, if that makes any sense.
Right.
And then we don't get any interaction between the two of them in Endgame.
Yeah.
So the height of them is Ragnarok. That's funny.
Yeah.
The best thing about Ragnarok is Hulk. That's funny.
Yeah. No, it's true though. No, you're right. I mean, I would have liked to have seen a Hulk Thanos rematch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we never get. Yeah.
We never get. That's my only reason for not picking MCU. But mind you, it's a favorite just as much as I understand why you pick it, Zach. It's just that's what makes me not pick it. Just because I wouldn't have delineated the character or downgraded it for that long, and we still don't get a return to that character yet. I'm sure we will, but it's I guess it's a road as opposed to a moment.
And I guess in doing so, I saved the Ang Lee Hulk. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Yes,
true.
you do.
That's true.
10 minutes of it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Jeez.
Clifton?
Like I had early introductions to Hulk in the show. I loved the show.
The Hitchhiker.
Yep. Even though it ended with sad piano music every time. The music haunted me all of my childhood.
Great piano music.
Yeah. and the 80s cartoon that was on around the same time as Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends I saw, and I liked a lot because I liked Hulk from the show.
I forgot about that cartoon.
Yeah, it's I think currently on Disney Plus if anyone wants to see it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I don't know. There was something about like toddler me that just liked a character that smashed things.
Mhm.
like growing up, man, I loved that character. I looked up to that. So yeah, I got the shows. I mean, the movies have been good. Comics, like I've loved a lot of the Hulk comics over the years. Video game, like Frank brought up, Ultimate Destruction?
I think so, yeah.
I played on GameCube. I loved that because you could destroy it. Like everything in the game was destroyable.
Oh, yeah. It's
Like every
great.
building, every vehicle, everything. Because of course it's a Hulk game. I think I'm going to go comics though. I'm going to go comics as my definitive choice. I just love the like atomic age backstory and origin of Hulk that we get in there, and I just love all those early stories, like the monster Hulk on the run from the military that misunderstands him. Like I just love the comics.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's comics. I was thinking about it while everyone was giving their answer, and for me, it's I as much as I love the MCU stuff and I love some of the animated, like I think Hulk versus, I've said before, is one of the best things. Before some of the current Marvel animated stuff, I think it's one of the best animated pieces they've ever done.
Yeah, it's true.
But having said that, I there's too much in the comics. Like, I read all the Peter David stuff. I read all the Pantheon stuff. You lose Mr. Fix-It. You lose, I believe it's Greg Pak that did the Planet Hulk, and then Scar and all that stuff. And I've enjoyed I haven't read all of it, but I've enjoyed some of the Immortal Hulk stuff. And then I read back when it was, the Hulk, just, Hulk Want to Be Left Alone, Hulk. I enjoy a lot of that stuff too from the earlier days. So, yeah, I would be, I couldn't just lose the Hulk comic stuff. So I'm going to go with the Hulk comics.
All right, cool. Good list, Frank.
Thank you.
Some tough ones.
Yep.
I'm going to be kicking myself the rest of the night with some of these choices, though. Some of them were tough.
That was my plan.
As always, we'll post links and examples to everything we talk about on letmeknowhowitis.com, like the Duck Dodgers theme song. Check it out.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Please remember to like us and follow us on social media, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good one.